Jade's house looked like it belonged in a magazine. Perfect lighting, flawless decorations, everything in its place. But inside, it felt cold. While the city chased the idea of a perfect Christmas, she stumbled upon an old photo, a simple smile, a love without showmanship, a time when life actually made sense. And right there, surrounded by excess, Jade realized something no store could ever sell. Maybe everything she'd been chasing was never on the shelves to begin with. Welcome to Lost Stories and Lyrics, the place where emotional stories will touch your heart. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and smash that subscribe button. Jade ran her fingers over the crystal ornaments hanging from the Christmas tree and smiled at her phone's camera. The cool white glow of the chandeliers reflected perfectly off the imported German decorations, creating exactly the kind of sparkle her followers loved. She adjusted the angle, snapped a few more photos, and posted the best one with the caption, "Home Sweet Home Sparkles Christmas Tree." The living room looked like it had been lifted straight from the pages of Architectural Digest. Canadian pine garlands woven with burgundy velvet ribbon cascaded down the staircase. Vanilla and cinnamon-scented candles, the expensive kind, imported from France, covered every surface. Personalized stockings, hand-embroidered, hung from polished bronze hooks on the electric fireplace. Even the sofa had been restyled with holiday pillows that cost more than most people spent on gifts. Jade stepped back to admire it all. Everything was flawless. Every detail intentional, every color perfectly aligned with the palette chosen months earlier. She'd hired a decorator who specialized in luxury holiday interiors, and the result was exactly what she'd asked for, absolute perfection. But when she sat down on the sofa and looked around, the silence settled heavily. The house had 3 floors, and only one person living in it. No children laughing on the stairs. No smell of homemade cookies in the oven. No soft music playing while someone stirred hot chocolate in the kitchen. Just the steady hum of the central heating and the cold glow of expensive decor. She picked up her phone and scrolled through the comments on her latest post. Hundreds of hearts. Dozens of messages praising her impeccable taste and asking where she'd bought each item. She replied to a few with smiling emojis, but the emptiness stayed, lodged in her chest like a block of ice. Jade worked as an image consultant for luxury brands. Her job was to build perfect visual identities, teach executives how to dress for influence, design spaces that radiated status and sophistication. She was excellent at what she did. Her Manhattan apartment was living proof, a showroom of her own expertise. But that December night, 3 days before Christmas, she couldn't ignore the feeling anymore. All the decor, the expensive ornaments, the 10-foot tree with lights programmed to blink in perfect sync, it all felt like a set. Beautiful, impressive, and hollow. She went upstairs to the second-floor closet, where the unused Christmas boxes were stored. The decorator had called them redundant and said they disrupted the color harmony. Jade hadn't argued. That was the point of hiring someone, to make sure everything looked perfect. She opened the first box and found old decorations, some cardboard, some cheap felt. Things she'd bought years earlier, back when she lived in a tiny Brooklyn studio and thought stringing multicolored lights in the window was enough to make it feel like Christmas. In the second box, beneath a plastic wreath missing half its fake leaves, she found a photograph. She froze. Her fingers trembled as she picked up the faded picture. It was simple, almost amateur. She was sitting on a fallen log, wearing a crooked red knit hat, cheeks pink from the cold. Beside her, Gabriel smiled at the camera, one hand on her shoulder, the other holding a steaming mug of coffee. Behind them, tents dotted a snowy clearing surrounded by pine trees. That Christmas had been 6 years ago. Gabriel was a freelance photographer. He traveled constantly, documenting remote communities, wild landscapes, forgotten stories. He had no permanent home and no interest in collecting things. Everything he owned fit into a worn backpack. He used to say life was too light to be weighed down by possessions. Jade remembered the first time they met, at an art exhibit on the Lower East Side. She was there representing a client. Gabriel was showing his photographs, raw images of real people, no filters, no staged poses. They talked all night about light, composition, and meaning. He told her beauty wasn't in perfection, but in truth. She fell in love with him that very night. They spent 2 intense years together, years full of spontaneous adventures and deep conversations about what actually mattered. Gabriel didn't care about brands, status, or appearances. He valued moments. Conversations. Shared silence by a campfire. The warmth of a hand. The taste of bad coffee on the side of an empty road. And back then, Jade valued those things too. Then her career took off. Companies competed for her services. Salaries climbed. She bought the dream apartment, then the dream car, then the dream wardrobe. Everything became more beautiful, more expensive, more perfect. And Gabriel drifted further away. He never complained outright, that wasn't who he was. But Jade saw the sadness in his eyes when she canceled dinners for networking events. When she insisted on Michelin star restaurants instead of street food. When she complained about simple hotels on their trips. Their last argument was in December, just like now. Gabriel wanted to spend Christmas camping in the mountains with friends. Jade said she had to attend an exclusive holiday party for important clients. He asked whether she truly wanted to go, or whether she felt she was supposed to. She didn't have an answer. He went to the mountains alone. When he returned 2 weeks later, they ended things. No fight. No drama. Just a quiet, painful conversation where they admitted they wanted different lives. Jade put the photo back in the box and shut the lid firmly, as if she could lock the memory away with the old decorations. But the image stayed with her. She walked downstairs slowly, looking at the flawless decor around her, the garlands, the candles, the crystal ornaments. So beautiful. So empty. Her phone buzzed. A text from Veronica, her best friend, or at least the person she'd called her best friend for the past few years. Jade. I got us a reservation at Le Bernardin for Christmas dinner. We're your new Dior, it's going to be amazing. Gemstone clinking glasses. Jade sent back an automatic reply filled with excited emojis. Then she stared at the screen for a long moment. When was the last time she'd truly wanted to do something? Not because it looked right. Not because it would photograph well. Not because people expected it. But because she genuinely wanted it? She couldn't remember. The doorbell rang. Jade frowned, she wasn't expecting anyone. She opened the door to find a delivery driver holding a large box wrapped in gold paper. Delivery for Jade Morrison. She signed and carried the box inside. The card read, "For our favorite consultant. With appreciation, the Montclair team." A gift from one of her most important clients, probably a designer bag or an expensive wine set. She set it on the floor beside 6 other unopened boxes. Gifts from clients, vendors, professional contacts. All luxurious. All sophisticated. All meaningless. Jade went back to the closet and reopened the box of old decorations. She took out the photo of Gabriel and brought it downstairs. Sitting on the sofa, hugging a velvet pillow, she stared at the image for a long time. That camping Christmas had been painfully simple. Marshmallows over a fire. Off-key singing. Handmade gifts, she'd knitted him a terrible scarf. He'd made her a photo album of the two of them. They slept in a freezing tent, holding each other for warmth. And Jade remembered feeling happier than she ever had. Now she lived in a $2 million apartment and felt completely alone. She opened Instagram and went to Gabriel's profile, from an anonymous account. She didn't have the courage to follow him from her real one. He was still traveling. Still photographing. His latest post, from 3 days earlier, showed children laughing in a remote village somewhere in South America. The caption read, "They have nothing. But they have everything." She closed the app and looked around the room again. The expensive candles. The imported ornaments. The towering tree. Everything perfectly arranged. A flawless stage set for a Christmas that didn't truly exist. Jade stood up, walked to the tree, and turned off the programmed lights. In the dim silence, she finally admitted what she'd been avoiding for years. She had everything the storefronts sold. But she had lost everything that truly mattered. Jade woke up the next morning with Gabriel's photo still lying on the coffee table. The cold December light poured in through the windows, and under that raw clarity, the perfect decor looked even more artificial. She made coffee, sat on the couch, and stared at the Christmas tree. Every ornament had been chosen with surgical precision. Every branch was perfectly symmetrical. It was beautiful. It was impressive. It was completely lifeless. Jade picked up her phone and scrolled through social media. Her friends were posting photos of parties, elegant dinners, last-minute shopping sprees. Veronica had shared a picture holding 6 designer shopping bags with the caption, "Almost ready for Christmas." Just a few more details wrapped gift sparkles. Jade turned the phone off. Something inside her had shifted. It wasn't sudden or dramatic. It was like realizing that a door that had always been locked was finally open, and on the other side, there was nothing she actually wanted. She stood up, walked to the tree, and began removing the crystal ornaments one by one. She placed them carefully back into their original boxes. Then she took down the garlands from the staircase, blew out the expensive candles, and removed the personalized stockings from the fireplace. 2 hours later, the living room was bare. Only the furniture remained, silent and exposed. She looked at the empty space and felt something unexpected, relief. Jade went upstairs to her closet and searched through her clothes. In the back, pushed behind designer dresses she wore to events, she found an old gray wool coat. It was simple, worn at the sleeves, missing a button. She put it on. It fit perfectly, just like it always had. In the box of old decorations, she found something she had completely forgotten, a small ornament made of dry twigs tied together with red string, shaped like an uneven star. Gabriel had made it for her during that Christmas camping trip, using branches he'd found near the tent. It was crude, imperfect, fragile. Jade held the star carefully, as if it were the most precious thing she owned. She picked up her phone and opened the last message Gabriel had sent her 3 years earlier. "If you ever want to talk, I'm here." She had never replied. She'd felt ashamed. Afraid. Proud. She started typing, deleted it, typed again. Finally, she wrote, "Are you still in New York?" The reply came 20 minutes later. "I am. Getting back tomorrow from a trip." "Why?" She looked at the twig star in her hand. "I need to give something back to you." "A star." There was a long pause. "Then, I thought you'd thrown it away." "So did I." Another pause. "Where do you want to meet?" Jade thought of the places they used to go together, cheap cafes in Brooklyn, parks in the late afternoon, aimless walks through the Lower East Side. Simple places where what mattered was the company, not the setting. Union Square. "Tomorrow at 3 p.m? I'll be there." Jade put the phone down and looked around her empty apartment. For the first time in years, she felt like she was doing something real. Something honest. Something that actually mattered. But fear came with it. What if Gabriel judged her? What if he saw how much she had changed and didn't even want to talk? What if she got there and realized all this nostalgia was just an illusion, that the past couldn't be reclaimed? She spent the rest of the day trying to work but couldn't focus. She answered emails automatically, rescheduled meetings, ignored calls. Her mind was fixed on the meeting the next day. That night, Veronica called. "Jade. You disappeared. Are we all set for tomorrow? I booked the salon for us at 10. Then lunch, some shopping, and..." "Veronica, I'm not going." Silence on the other end. "What do you mean you're not going?" "It's Christmas dinner. At Le Bernardin. I spent weeks getting that reservation." "I know. I'm sorry. But I need to do something else." "What's something else?" "Jade, are you okay? You're acting weird." "I'm fine. I just need to take care of something important. Veronica sighed, annoyed. Fine. When you're done with this end-of-year existential crisis, call me. I'll take Melissa instead. She hung up. Jade stared at her phone. Part of her felt guilty. But a bigger part felt free. The next morning, she woke up early. She didn't put on makeup. She didn't choose a carefully styled outfit. She put on old jeans, the gray wool coat, and simple boots. She tied her hair into a loose ponytail and looked at herself in the mirror. The woman staring back looked different. Younger, maybe. Or just less tired. Jade wrapped the twig star carefully in a tissue and slipped it into her coat pocket. She left the apartment and went down to the street. December in New York was chaotic. Sidewalks overflowed with tourists carrying oversized shopping bags. Store windows blinked with Christmas lights and last-minute sales. Music blasted from speakers on street corners. Everyone was rushing, everyone was buying, everyone seemed desperate to find the perfect gift. Jade went into the subway. She hadn't taken the subway in years. She usually took Uber or a cab. But that day, she felt like she needed to be among real people, in a real space, experiencing something unfiltered. The train was crowded. She held onto a pole beside a man carrying Target bags, a woman with 2 small children, and a street musician playing an out-of-tune guitar. The air smelled like sweat, cheap perfume, and reheated food. It was ugly. It was human. It was real. Jade closed her eyes and, for the first time in a long while, felt like she belonged somewhere. The train stopped at Union Square at 2:40 p.m. She climbed the stairs and emerged into the plaza, where the Christmas market was in full swing. Stalls sold hot chocolate, handmade scarves, and simple jewelry. Children ran through the crowd. A choir sang Christmas songs near the fountain. Jade walked slowly, taking it all in. These people weren't trying to impress anyone. They were just living. Buying inexpensive gifts because that's what they could afford. Laughing because they were together. Being imperfect and happy at the same time. She stopped near a stall selling Christmas ornaments made from recycled materials. A little girl, about 8 years old, held up a crooked cardboard star covered in glitter and said to her mother, "This one. This one is perfect." The mother smiled. "It really is, sweetheart." Jade felt her eyes burn. She checked her watch. 2:55 p.m. Her heart began to race. Gabriel was there, near the fountain, his back turned to her. He wore the same worn jacket as always, the same backpack slung over one shoulder. His hair was longer, his beard fuller. But it was him. Jade took a deep breath and walked toward him. When she was only a few steps away, Gabriel turned around. Their eyes met. And Jade realized she didn't need to say anything. He already knew. Gabriel didn't smile right away. He just stood there, looking at her with that expression Jade knew so well, attentive, curious, free of judgment. As if he wasn't just seeing the person in front of him, but all the layers hidden underneath. "Hi," she said, her voice shakier than she expected. "Hi," he replied. They stood there for a moment, surrounded by the hum of the Christmas market, the choir's music, the laughter of children. Jade held onto the pocket of her coat where the star was hidden, searching for the right words. But there were no right words. There was only the truth. "I brought this," she said, pulling the tissue from her pocket and revealing the uneven star he had made years ago. Gabriel looked at the fragile ornament, and something shifted in his expression. It wasn't exactly surprise. It was recognition. Like an old door had opened, revealing something he thought was lost forever. "You kept it," he said softly. "I did. It was hidden in a box at the back of my closet, along with a lot of things I pretended I didn't care about anymore." Jade held the star carefully, as if it might fall apart. "I lied to myself for a long time, Gabriel. I told myself I was fine. That I'd made the right choices. That my life was exactly what I'd always wanted. Gabriel didn't interrupt. He never had trouble waiting. But it wasn't, Jade continued, her eyes burning. I built a beautiful life. Perfect, even. But it was like living inside a display window. Everything looked right, but none of it was real. She held the star out to him, but Gabriel didn't take it. Instead, he stepped closer and gently closed her hands around it. That star was never mine, he said quietly. It was always yours. I made it for you. To remind you that the most beautiful things don't have to be perfect. A tear slid down Jade's cheek. She didn't try to stop it. I forgot that, she whispered. I forgot so many important things while chasing things that didn't matter. Gabriel cupped her face with both hands and wiped the tear away with his thumb. You didn't forget. You just got lost for a while. It happens to everyone. But I lost you in the process. No, he said gently, his voice steady. You didn't lose me. You lost yourself. And no one could find you until you decided to look for yourself. Jade closed her eyes and let the tears fall freely now. They weren't tears of despair. They were tears of relief. Of recognition. Of finally stopping the act. I spent years thinking I had to impress everyone, she said. Clients. Friends. People I barely knew. I posted pictures of a perfect life, bought expensive things, went to fancy places, and inside, I was completely empty. Completely alone. Gabriel pulled her into a hug. He didn't say anything, he just held her. And Jade realized she had forgotten what it felt like to be held for real. No performance. No expectations. Just one person holding another because they needed it. They stayed that way for a long time, standing in the middle of the square while the world kept moving around them. When they finally pulled apart, Gabriel pointed to a bench near the fountain. Want to sit? They sat side by side. Jade still held the twig star. Gabriel pulled a thermos from his backpack and offered it to her. Coffee? She laughed, a shaky, tearful laugh, but real. You still carry coffee everywhere? Some things don't change. Jade took a sip. It was bad coffee, probably made at a gas station during his trip. But it was hot and honest, and she drank it gratefully. Where were you this time? She asked. Guatemala. Documenting coffee cooperatives in indigenous communities. He took a sip too. Incredible people. They work the land with their own hands, share everything they have. Most live in simple homes, with no luxury at all. But they have a kind of wealth that doesn't fit in a bank account. Jade smiled sadly. I had a full bank account and an empty life. I think I did everything wrong. You didn't do it wrong. You just chose a path and realized it didn't take you where you wanted to go. That's not failure. That's learning. But I hurt you along the way. Gabriel was quiet for a moment, watching people pass by. You didn't hurt me on purpose, Jade. You were trying to figure out who you were. I just wanted you to realize you didn't have to be anyone other than yourself. And I wasted years trying to be someone else. You didn't waste them. You experimented. And now you know what you don't want. Jade looked at him. And you? What do you want? Gabriel smiled, that small, honest smile she had always loved. The same things as always. Real moments. Honest conversations. People who aren't afraid to be imperfect. He paused. And you? What do you want now? Jade looked at the star in her hands. Then at the Christmas market around them, with its simple stalls and ordinary people. Then at Gabriel, with his worn coat, his beat-up backpack, and eyes that always saw beyond the surface. I want to start over, she said. I don't know exactly how, but I know I don't want to live inside a set anymore. I want to live for real. Feel for real. Be who I truly am, without being afraid of not being enough. You were always enough, Jade. Always. She looked at him, her eyes still wet. Can we try again? Not the way it was before, because neither of us is the same. But something new. Something real. Gabriel was quiet, and for one terrible moment, Jade thought he might say no. That he'd been hurt too much, waited too long, moved on too far. Then he took her hand. I don't know if it'll work, he said honestly. I don't know if we want the same things now, or if we'll find a path that works for both of us. But I do know I want to try. Because the person sitting here with me, vulnerable, honest, brave enough to admit she got lost, that person is worth getting to know again. Something opened in Jade's chest. It wasn't the artificial rush of expensive shopping or social media likes. It was deeper. Quieter. It was peace. I took all the Christmas decorations down, she said suddenly, laughing, this time fully, freely. Spent a fortune on those perfect ornaments and removed every single one. My living room is completely empty now. Gabriel smiled. And how do you feel? Free. He squeezed her hand. Then you've already started. They sat on that bench for another hour, talking about everything and nothing. Gabriel talked about his travels, the people he'd met, the stories he'd photographed. Jade talked about the emptiness of the perfect house, the photo she found, the decision to cross the city by subway carrying nothing but a twig star. As the sun began to set and the December cold deepened, Gabriel stood and offered his hand. Want to walk? They walked through the square, past the stalls, the choir still singing, the families buying simple gifts. Jade looked at everything with new eyes, not the critical gaze of someone searching for flaws, but the gaze of someone who finally understood that imperfection was where real beauty lived. When they reached the subway station, Gabriel stopped. I'm taking the yellow line. You? The green. He nodded, but didn't let go of her hand right away. Jade? Yes? Merry Christmas. She smiled, a real smile, from a deep and long-forgotten place inside her. Merry Christmas, Gabriel. They hugged one last time, long and tight, then headed to their separate platforms. On the crowded train ride home, Jade held the twig star in her pocket and realized that, for the first time in years, she was excited to go home. Not to show anyone. Not to post a photo. But to simply be there, with herself, without masks. When she opened the apartment door and saw the empty living room, no decorations, no perfect setup, nothing but furniture and open space, she smiled. She hung the twig star on a nail in the wall. It was crooked. Fragile. Imperfect. It was the most beautiful Christmas decoration she had ever owned. Jade sat on the couch and picked up her phone. She opened Instagram, looked at the last photo she'd posted of the perfect decor, and typed a new caption. Sometimes you have to take everything apart to discover what really matters. Merry Christmas to anyone finding their way back home. Red heart. She posted it. And for the first time in years, she didn't wait for the likes. Because she had finally found something far more valuable than approval. She had found herself. And that, Jade realized, was everything she had ever wanted. Enjoyed the video? Smash that like button and subscribe for more awesome stories. I'll be waiting for you in the next story.